All right, cool. So, hi everyone, and those that are here right now, and those watching me a little later. Good afternoon, morning, good evening, or good night, depending on where you are listening from or hearing from. Today, what we wanted to do was just realizing that it's a new quarter. We're having this discussion on the 4th day of April, 2022. And it's a new quarter. And at the beginning of the quarter of the year, actually, we announced a new strategy for us as an organization, the Global Impact Strategy. So that was about 3 months ago. We've been running with that strategy for a while now, and we thought it was good for us to just address the organization, address the members of the organization to let us know where we are exactly, some of the things that we're trying to do, how you are involved, how you can be involved, how some of the things that we're doing is for your own benefit, and how we hope that you will participate as much as possible in the opportunities that the organization is creating for each individual. Local impact strategy was around us as Bincom Dev Center, which is the main, well, not the main company that many of us work for. Our Bincom Dev Center and by extension, the rest of the group are taking a decision for us to focus on global impact and of course local initiatives as well, driving that global impact. It was around the fact that now we were opening up the organization to anyone, anywhere in the world. I would say again, just to mention that any team leader, you are required as part of our policy to account for every single one of your team member in organizational events such as this one. So you need to know why your team members are not on, if they are not on. And for this particular session, I will ask that I ensure that they watch this video after and ask them questions to make sure they watch it after in case they are not here right now. So global impact included us opening up the organization to people from all over the world to say now the value that Bincom is given, the value that Bincom Dev Center is given, it wasn't restricted to just Nigerians. It wasn't just restricted to people in Nigeria or Nigerians in diaspora, but it was actually value that we could give to anyone all over the world. We also decided at that point to open up a new role within the organization, which was the 100% discount on Bincom Tech Apprenticeship. For many of us, you are aware that the Bincom Tech Apprenticeship is something we've done for many years now as an organization. It actually even predates Bincom Dev Center, the company that does learning and knowledge development. But we then decided to open up that option as well for people to be able to get on board at that level. We also opened up beyond Nigeria. So aside from the fact that we're trying to open multiple physical locations in different cities in Nigeria, our target is to be in 30 different cities. We're in 6 cities at the moment, but our target is to get to 30 different cities. We also decided to open up virtually to anyone in the world, starting with the UK, South Africa, United States, and a few other countries along that line. All of this are strategic to us. All of this is part of us trying to drive value as an organization. All of this is us trying to ensure that we deliver value and our promise of value. Part of what we explained as well was we actually changed the organizational description for Bincom Dev Center. Back in the days, and even as at last year, 2021, Bincom Dev Center had the word training as part of our description. But we then decided that training really doesn't capture what it is that we do, because a lot of times when people see the word training, they see, oh, they are going to teach me 1 + 1 is equal to 2, or 2 + 3 is equal to 4. But that's not what we are founded on. That's not what we are about. We're actually about learning by doing, because our idiosyncrasy as an organization is to say that if you do something, you start building muscle, you start building capacity. And as they make you do more complex things, you start building and building and building, and you keep climbing up that mountain. And by the time you look back, you realize that you've actually climbed upwards much more than you expected and much more than you realized that you could do. And so training was removed from our organizational description, and we were able to focus on what we actually do, which is talent development. And so if you look at our new description as Beacom Dev Center, you'll find that what is pivotal or critical within the organizational description is talent development. I see somebody else that started the recording. I'll just say that this is already being recorded anyway, but that's fine. It's talent development, and talent development is what is key to us. Talent development is what is key to us and what we are driving as each person that joins the platform, regardless of how you join the platform, whether you join as an apprentice, as a global tech trainee, as an intern, as a trainee, as a junior associate, as senior associate, at manager level, at mentor level, at partner level, any one of the levels that we have within the organization. What is important to us is development. And there's a unique way that we do that. And I dare say that those processes that we call microservices is our unique value proposition as Beacom Dev Center. You might have heard me say platform as well, and that's because we realized that we were not just an organization, we're also a platform, and there's much more that will be coming out from that. We're also tech driven, and one of the projects that we're doing at the moment is the Beacom Dev Center app project. We're actually building an app that digitizes every single thing that we do within the Beacom Dev Center. So from personal development, knowledge development, community events, external events, and all the other things, including rating and ranking, demerits, and so on. We realize that these are things that we have an opportunity to automate. These are things that we have an opportunity to make sure that these are things that people will go through, including things like orientation, including trainings that people need to have at different levels and at different points in time. These are all the things that we've decided to focus on, particularly this year, and then open it up to the world. We started doing that earlier this year, and it came up with a couple of challenges. One of the ones that for me was most disappointing is that we actually brought a few people on board who were not, from outside Nigeria, but we realized that there were several challenges, a lot of things that we haven't put in place, a lot of things that we are not doing well, but we are not doing well enough. And those things are also affecting us and also affecting our brand. I sum up many of those things under a word that I would say consistency. And consistency is something that we then need to be able to achieve. If we say we're going to have a meeting at a certain time, we should consistently start that meeting at that time, not 2 minutes after, not 3 minutes after. And if you notice, you would have experienced this for you listening to me right now, where you have a session and then 5 minutes after we haven't started the session, 10 minutes after we haven't started the session. Consistency, if we say a meeting is going to end in 30 minutes, it should end in 30 minutes. If you say stand-ups should be 15 minutes and not more than 15 minutes, then it should be 15 minutes. It shouldn't be longer than that. And there are several things along that line as well. There's also the idea of quality. If you say that there's a process that says step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, right? Then that process should be step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Don't get me wrong. We've designed Beacom Dev Center specifically now. We've designed it in such a way that it's malleable, in such a way that it's like solid metal. And if you've gone through orientation, you probably know what I'm talking about. We've designed each one of the microservices in such a way that we can change it every month. But anyway, we say this microservice should run, anyway, we say this process should run during that time, we expect that that process will run in that way during that time. Consistency. If we say you're supposed to submit a daily report on a daily basis, then you submit a daily report on a daily basis, not that they will be chasing you for you to submit your daily reports. If they say your daily report should now be in this certain format, they shouldn't have to be reminding you to say that, oh, you have not submitted your daily report in the format in which you are supposed to. And yes, Sometimes we forget we are human beings at the end of the day. And that's the reason why we have people like team leads, we have people like team mentors, and so on, who are supposed to help us and point us in the right direction. Team leads, we found also are protecting people, and they don't realize that you're actually doing a disservice to the person that you are protecting. When somebody doesn't do what they are supposed to do and they don't do it consistently, they don't do it consistently. One moment, please. All right. And they are not doing what they are supposed to do, and they are not doing it consistently. Our process says that you need to report that person to pro services. Actually, you need to give that person a demerit first of all. And then if the person still continues not doing what they are supposed to do, then let pro services know so that pro services can engage the person. It may be a welfare issue. It may be a specific challenge. It may be information issue and so on. But one of the things we find some of our team leads still doing is protecting people that they have no business protecting at that level, because you're not helping them. When each person joined the organization, the promise the organization made, whether explicitly or implicitly, whether it's at intern level, apprentice level is our lowest level at the moment, not even intern anymore. Whether it's at apprentice level, whether it's at partner level, is that you will grow, you will develop. That's what we promised. Growth means different things at different levels, but that's what we promised. And what you are doing at the point when you don't apply sanctions when you should, when you let things slide, like people coming late, like people not switching on their cameras when they should, like people not obeying simple terms and instructions, is that you are affecting their ability to grow and their ability to grow fast. Consistency is something we are trying to achieve. And the reason why I'm addressing this in this forum, Orland, is that we all have a part to play. Each one of us, every single one of us, there are about 70 people on Slack. I'm not sure how many people are actually active. And that's part of the challenge as well, because we have an offboarding process when people leave. We have an onboarding process when people join the platform at every point in time. Is we all have a part to play. We all have a part to play to make sure we run like clockwork. We believe that asking people to manage microservices is part of us being able to achieve, help people build soft skills. We believe that asking you to lead is part of us helping your career development. The premium program, the global tech program, and every other program that we run, the internship program, apprenticeship, and all of that, they are founded on the whole idea of that learn skills, gain experience, gain exposure, particularly in the field of tech. And we all have a part to play in terms of the growth of the platform, in terms of the growth of the individual. And so the part of the things I wanted to just share is the fact that in this quarter, we will be focusing much more on those things I've mentioned. We'll be focusing much more on making sure we achieve those levels of consistency that we need to. We need your help. We really don't like demerits, and they are building the application, and I jokingly, and I corrected them because they were building the application. That's the platform I mentioned, and they were building it as demerits. Whereas the reason why rating and ranking system was created was not for demerits. It was actually for merit points, because if you go beyond the call of duty, you should get merit points, not just demerits. But it seems that where we've gotten to after operating that system for about 4 or 5 months is that we are now a demerit-based organization. I see a lot of demerits, and I just wonder that these are adults. There are some things that you should not be getting demerits for because you're an adult, not just because you are a part of the income, not just because you are part of not just because you are part of an organization, but because you're an adult, you should not be getting demerit for some of those silly things. Because you're an adult, you know that if you are going to miss a meeting, you should at least inform the people in the meeting to say, I can't make this meeting because XYZ, or because I have this issue, and so on and so forth. My point is this quarter, we would like to see us get better. We would like to see us achieve consistency. We would like to see us achieve clockwork in terms of the things that we say that we are doing, and in terms of the things that we are trying to do as an organization. Yes, a lot of things are going on. Yes, we have a lot of moving parts. And the truth is that we can only grow as an organization if every one of those moving parts move well and better and better and better. One of the things we see as an organization is that if we continue getting better and better and better, we will eventually be better than the best. We need everybody's effort. We need everybody's support, starting from you managing yourself, starting from you not being part of the people that Pro Services or Deborah or your team lead or your team mentor will be chasing up and down to do the things that you already know that you are supposed to do. If the problem is that you don't understand why some of those things are to be done, then ask questions. To a large extent, we try to answer questions. We don't have to, but we try to make sure that you see the reason why some of the things that we're doing are being done. The second thing I would just ask is that the organization provides a lot of opportunities. Make the best use of some of those opportunities. Some of them are not made compulsory for you. I'll give an example of the Emigrate internal session, right? Emigrate Premium Internal and Tech Career Packaging session holds every Friday, 5 to 6 o'clock. And the organization is spending a lot to make sure that happens, right? I actually personally fought to make it available to the entire organization rather than just the Global Tech Program, because it's really just a premium service that is available to the Global Tech Program. But we made it optional to other people in the organization. It's a bit disappointing to me, right? That a lot of people who should take advantage of those sessions don't, right? And we are spending a lot. We're spending a lot in terms of time and in some cases in terms of money to make sure those things happen. The only thing I'll ask is that take advantage of it. There are several things the organization is doing. Some of them are premium. Some of them that people that passed through the organization in the past are coming back to pay for. And that's a true story, right? Make the best advantage of it. We've got things like Labs by Bincom. We've got things like Emigrate. We've got things like the Tech Career Packaging and several other things that we consider as extras, right? By virtue of the fact that you are in Bincom, we've got things like the IT advisory and so on. By virtue of the fact that you are in Bincom, we typically would not charge you for it, right? But these are things that people are paying a premium to. It's interesting that people within the organization, because sometimes when I talk about this, and my time is almost up, I talk about this during Emigrate Open Day, right? Sometimes we talk about things that people can do. We talk about opportunities. We talk about visa options. We talk about that. And we talk about the fact that take action. What I'm just saying with this second point is this: these things are available. It's up to you to see one is for you to value the fact that it's available to you, right? Second thing is for you to take action and take advantage of some of these things that are available. ICT Career Talk, for example, we actually spend relationship to bring people to come and talk to us as an organization, to come and share their experience. And guess what? Some of those people can mentor you. All you have to do is take the advantage of it to say, oh, I heard you speak at so thing and so on. I'm interested in something. Please don't go and spam someone. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm just saying that these opportunities are available. It's up to you to make the best use of it. Income has a bunch of different initiatives running at this point, a lot of moving parts, but I'll just run through some of them that you should know. I'm sure many of them has been announced in the past, and many of them are things that you can share. I'm sure many of us are aware, all of us should be aware anyway, that Bincom pays a 10% commission through my circle anytime you bring a paying client to the organization, or 5% if we need to do sales and so on. If we need to do more sales and marketing for that income to be converted, then we pay 5% commission. But if it's just a case of the income comes and all, we pay 10% commission. I'm sure many of us are aware of that. If you are not aware, something has gone wrong in one of our processes, because we talk about it during orientation, we talk about it during social influence, which happens every Monday now, if I'm not mistaken, and we talk about it a lot. But in case you didn't know, that exists, and My Circle is a company that has been created around that concept, amongst many other things. But yeah, a lot of different initiatives that are going on at the moment. We have the move to the UK in 3 to 6 months campaign going on at the moment, focused on the UK Startup Visa, Innovator Visa, or the Technician Visa. That initiative is ongoing. If you don't know about it or you haven't heard about it, go Google it. It's a public domain, and we are talking about it. We've got the Bincom Global Tech Program, which we are now ramping up. We've been experimenting around the program, making tweaks and so on. And we sort of have learned many things over the last one or so years where we've been working on it. And we are going to be ramping up that program now as an organization. So that's something to be aware of. Bincom has also launched in the UK. It was announced during January, and it's something that we are building much more now. And when I talked about the fact that we have international people that are also joining the platform, and so we had a decision between running a second platform for the UK or then upgrading Bincom, our current Bincom Dev Center, to the international level so that everybody can be on one platform. That's what we choose to do. And we must upgrade by force, basically. And so I still see that some people's cameras are off at the moment. When we talk about time, we need to talk about time zone. When we talk about money, we'll be talking about both Naira and dollars and several other things that we've had to change for us to be compatible, and then the two of them can actually work together. But yes, we've launched in the UK, and we've also launched a volunteer platform based in the UK that is also going to be part of this entire moving part as well. Bincom also has a program called the Headhunter Service. It's a coaching service as well to a large extent, and it helps people to be able to land certificates of sponsorship. Only available in the UK for now, but that's one of the initiatives that we're currently running at the moment. Our focus in Bincom is best use of technology at the end of the day. One more thing is that we do have a bunch of roles that we are trying to fill at the moment. Hopefully, Pro Services must have announced many of those roles in the past. And so if you have people who may be interested, let them know those roles. What we do, if you refer someone directly to Pro Services, is that they will fast track the first and second interview for the person. And so we prefer referrals to just recruiting people from outside, but whichever way, we have a bunch of roles available at the moment. One of the ones that is delaying a strategic objective for us as an organization is our expansion to 30 cities. What we tried to do initially was to find locations in some of the cities and then recruit people in that city. We tried that for a while, but it didn't quite work for us. So the other converse is what we're doing now, which is that we are recruiting at least one individual in each city that we've identified. And once that individual has resumed and is up to speed and has been trained and has gone through orientation and all, part of the person's responsibility would be to work with us to find a partner location in each one of those cities. Our objective is to be physically present in 30 cities in Nigeria, aside from the international locations that we will be present in. We have a bunch of other initiatives. So marketing is a strategic imperative for us, and we're doing a bunch of things around marketing as an OKR. We've also engaged more team mentors. And so our objective is to ensure that every single team that we have, 2 team mentors at least, are available for each one of those teams. Many of our team mentors are paid in cash or in kind and all. So please, if your team mentors are not able to support you in the way you expect, let Pro Services know as well so that we can work on it if we need to change the team mentor or anything like that. And team mentors, to a large extent, are required to dedicate at least 250 minutes are required to attend your stand-ups at the very least. And to a large extent, they are also supposed to be able to assist and support in the different tasks and projects and so on that you may have available at any point in time. We've got the agile transformation OKR going on as well, and we are transforming to a full agile environment as an organization. We've got people running that project at the moment, and over a period of time, that would also materialize into us improving what we do as an organization. I'm sure there will be many questions. I hope there are, and I will pause now so that I will allow a couple of questions. But summary of what I'm saying is, welcome to a new quarter. Our strategic imperative is still the same. Our local impact strategy objective is still very strong. We've seen some of our limitations, one of them being us not consistently delivering in many of the things that we've said we should deliver on, from personal development to tax delivery to microservices to documentation and all. And we're going to be pushing that much more. We've released a bunch of initiatives that are going on. I mentioned some of them specifically, and I've also said take advantage of some of these things. Many of them are free to you today, and take advantage of them. That's if you value them anyway. And I've also mentioned the fact that we've got a bunch of vacancies and a bunch of things that are available at the moment that we are trying to fill. Work with us. We need everybody's cooperation. We need everybody's help. Our promise to you is for you to grow, and a lot of the opportunities and things that are available within the organization is geared towards that talent development, which is our core. Thank you for listening, and I'll be open to answer questions now. If you have a question, please raise your hand. I'll use the hand raise button on Zoom, and I will just take the questions from the Zoom interface. Use the hand raise session on Zoom. All right, Balogun Simetin, please go ahead. And your question can be about what I've talked about, or it could also be about something else that you would like to deal with as part of this all out.
All right. Thank you, sir, for the insights. I have two questions. I don't know. I just have two things to say. One is a question about the global tech. You said something about rounding it up. I'm not sure if I got that right correctly. So I just want to be sure.
Ramping it up. So global tech program, we're ramping it up, and we're going to be having at least 200 global tech trainees within the next 6 months or so in Bincom Dev Center. Ramping up, not around. Yeah. What's the second question?
All right, sir. The other one is a challenge, actually, sir. Like for 2 weeks now, the internet at the office in Yaba has been very, very terrible, and not much has been done about it. So I just thought I should mention it. So because oftentimes when it comes to the office space to use the internet, it slows down the work rate.
The work rate. Okay, so that's a challenge I think I'm also aware of, but there are people within this call, or at least that should be on this call, who are responsible. We've got tech supports, which is outsourced local, and so we have PMO Bincom ICT led by Olivia, who is responsible. We have at least 1 or 2 people in infrastructure team who are part of outsourced local, who are responsible for that internet. We've got finance, Chisom, who is also responsible. Simetin, do you think any one of those people are having sleepless nights on this problem you have right now?
I'm sorry, sir.
I said, do you think any one of those people I've mentioned are having sleepless nights on the problem you've mentioned?
Probably, sir.
Probably they are having sleepless nights.
Yes, sir. I'm not exactly sure what
I don't think so. I don't think they are. That's what I'm saying to you.
Okay.
Because if it's an emergency, it will be dealt with. I don't think those people have taken ownership of the issue. That's but I'm not unaware of the issue. What I do know that needs to happen is that there should be at least a second internet provider, so that if the first internet provider is failing, they can switch to a second internet provider. This is not something we've not done before in Yaba location. I used to work physically in Yaba location for a very while. So raise it up on tech support again. Follow up on those people I've mentioned. Interestingly, is outsourcing local is a service we also are offering and selling to other organizations. So if we are treating ourselves this way, I wonder how we are treating other clients that are signing up to outsource it at the moment. All right.
All
As
right.
I
Thank you,
said,
sir.
if you have a question, raise your hand. Use the hand raise button on Zoom. And yeah, Elijah, go ahead. Elijah, you're on mute if you are talking.
Yes, sir. I think my environment is quite noisy. I sent the message on the chat box. Sorry, on the chatting section.
All right, no problem, Elijah. Elijah, you shouldn't be in a noisy environment at this time because you are supposed to be at work at this time. And if you have the opportunity to work remotely, you are supposed to provide internet and power for yourself, and including the fact that you need to be in a place where you can be in meetings and so on. So please don't let that happen again. But I'll read out your question. I'd like to know more about the comprehensive reward for referrals into the program. Is the referral specifically a global tech initiative or other initiative as well? There's a lady in this call. Her name is Oladeji Oluwaseun. I think I got her name correctly. It's a team that is called PMO MyCircle. I'm sure they will be able to tell you a lot about the ambassador program. I'm also surprised you're asking this question because I believe this is also covered in our orientation as well. And so, yeah, so there's a lot of information on this that is available, and there's a startup that Bincom is incubating called MyCircle that is based on this concept. By signing the agreement with Bincom, you were automatically a MyCircle ambassador. I'm a MyCircle ambassador, you are a MyCircle ambassador, and so if for some reason there's some communication breakdown or anything else why you didn't get all this information you should have gotten, we will deal with it holistically. I assume you are not the only one because I can see a few other people's faces who are wondering what I'm talking about. So Oladeji Oluwaseun, I don't know if she's on, or Madam Comfort to pass the message to them. MyCircle should probably do a session within the organization as part of all hands. They can take a 15 minutes to educate everyone about what the MyCircle program is, what campaigns are available for marketing referral. Is actually everything Bincom does. Since Bincom's inception, we've actually done a 10% referral and all, but over the years, it's become, MyCircle has taken that over as part of the things MyCircle does. So I know I didn't answer your specific question, but deliberate because it points out one of the issues we need to solve as well. I don't see any other hands up on Zoom, so I assume that was the last question. I'll give just 5 seconds in case there's a last minute question from anyone. Hand raise button on Zoom. All right, so thank you, everyone. Thank you for listening to me. For team leads on air, Adeyinka, please go ahead.
All right, sir, thank you. So, sorry, sir, I want to ask about the requirement for interns to join the organization. So, what the process is, because I've tried some time ago to get partner locations here in Gomosho. Yep. But I think the terms are not going well with those organizations. So, but there are a number of undergraduates here that I think can join the organization. So I have some people I'm using my own personal resources for, so that they can meet up with some of the requirements of the organization. So I'm hoping some of them will join, but I really want to know what's the exact process to get an intern to join the organization.
All right, then. I'll answer that. I'll take a little bit of time to answer that because you've asked 2 different questions. So before January 2022, the lowest level recognized in the organization was the intern level. But now in January 2022, the organization opened up the apprentice level. So officially apprentice is our lowest level now, and then to intern and all of that. The requirement to join internship in Bincom is to be able to pass either the intermediate class or the advanced class test of Bincom Academy. Historically, the reason why Bincom Academy was created, and Bincom Academy actually was created before Bincom Dev Center, the company, was because we found that many people could not pass that basic test in code that we think is basic, but a lot of people could not pass the test. So that was actually why Income Academy was created in the first place. It wasn't a paid program. It wasn't something that it wasn't paid or anything like that. It was just a way for us to train people that we want to recruit into the Income ICT. Then that is the organization. Sorry if you are confused, I'm sorry, but just know that Income Academy. So the requirement for internship is that the person needs to be able to pass whatever test has been set for the intermediate or advanced level class of that knowledge track. So for PHP, the requirement is the person needs to be able to pass the election monitoring test. For project management, the person needs to be able to pass that project management test where you need to do Excel, PowerPoint, write about Donald Trump and all sorts of things. And it goes on like that. The actual requirement back in the days was the person needed to get a certificate of distinction, not a participation. So you get a certificate of participation at the point when you can submit every single one of those tests. Because if you can even do the test at all, it means that you know something, right? But it doesn't mean that you did the test correctly. A certificate of distinction then is somebody actually checks everything that you've done, all the assignments you've done, and all the tests that you did to make sure that certificate that you did it well. In the last 1 or 2 years, we've not really been checking the test. And that's one of the things we are solving now, because one of the jobs of the team mentors that we are recruiting is that they will be in the 8th contact session of Income Academy and review both what the facilitator did and what the participant did. It's a learning point for the facilitator who took the participant, because if there are knowledge gaps in the facilitator, hopefully the mentor will deal with it. But at the same time, they are also able to see some participants who may be awarded certificate of distinction. So to make it into internship at Income, you need to be able to pass that test. But for you to pass that test is why we have Income Academy, to say that if you can't pass the test at the point when you come in contact with Income, take this 1-month class, or in some cases like PHP, there are 2 classes, beginner and intermediate class. And at the point when you pass the intermediate class, then you can make it into the internship. So that's what we've operated over the years. However, we've taken it one step further now to say that we found that some people, for them to be able to take the class or pass the class, they also need more handholding, which is what the apprenticeship model does. The handholding plus the class. And so what we've done in addition now, as of January 2022, is to open up to say, if you cannot do the tests, you can still continue the onboarding process. You will be onboarded as an apprentice, but instead of asking you to pay Income, we will give you 100% discount on the apprenticeship. And then over the next 1 month or 2 months, or maybe 3 months, some people have to repeat the class once or twice before they can pass. Then they can be brought on as intern at that point. I spent a long time answering the question because to just explain number one. So if the person can make it in as an intern, they can make it in as an apprentice and can be promoted to intern over a period of time at the point when they have satisfactory, be able to pass the test. This same level is what is also attainable with the Global Tech Program, just that we call them stages. So we have stage 0 in the Global Tech Program, which is the foundation stage. And to move from stage 0 to stage 1, which is the first 6 months, you need to pass that same test. It's not a different test. And then it goes on like that. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, sir.
The other question you asked was the partner location. Yes, we started out with an experiment on how the partner location works, but we are open to conversations and all of that. Eventually, we will need a model that will go across all locations, but we have been able to vary terms for different locations based on what the different locations are asking for and so on. It has to be a win-win situation, whichever way. But if you can bring it up with Pro Services, I think Madam Comfort is running that project personally, right? To say these are the terms they are offering, and they will bring it up to management. If it's something that will work for us, we would consider it, because we are very bullish on the fact that we want to create all those locations. It's part of what we are building. All right, thank you. I've taken more time than I should have, But hopefully this was useful. For every team lead, I ask that you take the link of this video and you require your team members to please watch it, because they were supposed to be here in the first place. For whatever reason why they weren't here, we are asking that they do watch the video and ensure that they've gotten this information firsthand. Everything I've said is documented somewhere, or is part of a process somewhere, or is being documented somewhere. But we wanted everyone on our team to at least know where we are going and ensure that the bus that you are on right now is heading in the direction that you want the bus to be heading. Thank you so much, everyone. And back to you, Madam Funke.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir, for those information. So thank you, team members, for patiently waiting till now. I believe it one two things from what you had mentioned earlier. So I would also like to buttress the vacancy roles that we have available. We posted some some weeks ago, and we will be posting more as time goes on, probably till tomorrow. You're getting to know the positions, the vacant positions available within the organization. So if you have anyone, or probably if you have anyone that you like to refer, kindly tell them to apply. Then you can follow up with pro services. Then you can also help put out the post, the vacant position. You can put it out on your social media and invite people. You can put it on your WhatsApp, or those that are seeing your WhatsApp status. For those who do not connect with one-on-one, you can also reach out to them through your system WhatsApp status. They can go through your Facebook status. They can go through Facebook story. They can go through it and get back to you if they have interest in any of this vacant roles. So, and I think this would actually go a very long way for us, and it will make it more easier for your team and also for the person you are referring to. When you refer someone, it will be easier to follow on them, reaching out to pro services for that. So thank you very much. And also, I would say we should not forget about social influence. Mr. Vadia talked about so many things, and also the developer also has analyzed something. But I believe some of us have not really gotten the full information about what it is, especially about the global tech and immigrant campaign that is running at the moment. So if you have any questions in that regard, how do you get your personal link? How what are the benefits attached to it, and so on like that? It's something that has been discussed actually, but for some of us that did not join and that wasn't available when this was talked about, please reach out to PM Income Dev Center, or you reach out to any post service, especially you can reach out to me. We'll find time we'll find a way to discuss this better, because the time is fast spent and I don't want to spend more than the normal time we're supposed to. So also, I will also implore us as a team, if you have any project at hand and you are not doing the needful at every point in time, please, you are supposed to be delivering a number of tasks per day. Doing that, it's bringing you close to the end of a particular project. So keep doing your task every day. Also, we sent out daily report formats last week, and we noticed that some of us are not following the format yet. Please, let's follow the format. In case you have not seen the format, you can ask your team lead. Actually, it's being posted on random channel. It's being posted on random channel. I expect all team leads to pin it to their channel. So if you don't have it pinned to your channel, you should call your team lead's attention to it so he or she can do the needful for your team. Daily reports are supposed to go in that format. So we expect you to give the details of what is being stated at every section of the daily report. So for some of us that doesn't even, that has not submitted your weekly report, it's so obvious that some of us have not submitted a weekly report. It is very important in case you don't have a link, because I don't expect anyone not to have the link for weekly reports. If you don't have the link, kindly reach out to your team lead. Your team lead is going to do the needful, reach out to Pro Services to get the link. All right, so I think that's that for today. Watch out for the job posting. We are going to put it on general channel, general or random channel anytime soon. And thank you. Is there any question? Final question before we move on and before we close for the day? Question? All right, so I take the silence as no question. So we are going to bring the session to an end now. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for being around. And please, let's keep this up. Though we are not, the number is still not encouraging. The number of participants is still not encouraging, but we hope for a better tomorrow. So if we can continue to be a good, so we can also encourage our team members to also do better. So by the next meeting or any other meeting we'll be having, you can also pass this virtue onto other teams, and we will, or the number of participation will increase as time goes on. Thank you very much, and have a nice day.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Okay, bye everyone.